Okay, last video. I'm excited. Let me start things off with this week's session. Started off with Kat and her goals that she had set for herself. Kat has been struggling with her PTSD and depression. She reports wanting to feel better and gain some skills or better ways of dealing with her PTSD. Another contributing factor to add to her depression is that she's been looking for a job and is not having much luck landing one. She is tired and feels guilty for sponging off her parents, and she's just flat out unmotivated and guilty about her situation. Kat was introduced to dialectical behavior therapy, also known as DBT. The group was also introduced to mindfulness practice of Zen Buddhist meditation practice. It was explained to Kat that DBT attempts to help people achieve a balance by integrating some Zen Buddhist concepts such as mindfulness, acceptance, tolerance, willingness, and being non-judgmental. One of the most important concepts is being non-judgmental. Acceptance and being non-judgmental often coexist or complements each other. Kat, let me introduce you to behavior chain analysis. This is part of cognitive restructuring that helps clients recognize thought and behavior patterns that lead to their distress and ineffective behavior choices. The goal is for you to be able to conduct your own analysis and self-evaluate your own inner workings to improve your ability to manage and control yourself. You are then empowered to recognize and alter counterproductive patterns as needed. As with all social work, the clinician's goal is to prepare you so that you no longer need the social worker to assist you with managing day-to-day functioning. The key to behavior chain analysis is dissecting ineffective patterns by breaking down an exact change of events. Each link in the chain is evaluated individually, then as a sequence. It may be helpful to think of yourself as a detective as you investigate each step. The first step is to choose a problem behavior or unwanted emotion. The next step is to analyze the sequential chain of events that led to it. With vulnerability, there are many things that might make you more vulnerable to unwanted emotions or behaviors. It is important to identify and evaluate factors that contribute to increased vulnerability. Oftentimes, these things appear unrelated to a problem but are actually contributing factors. Biological factors can play a role such as lack of sleep, alcohol, and drug use, illness, poor eating habits, or lack of exercise. Stressful events such as interpersonal or relationship conflicts can drain our resources, which makes us more vulnerable. Emotional arousal or the presence of strong emotions can make it more likely that certain events will trigger certain thoughts or feelings. Vulnerability factors are the first links in the chain because they are set up for you up by certain outcomes. The next link in the chain is referred to as precipitating event or trigger. You are not always aware of an accurate precipitating event and may need assistance with verbalizing an exact starting point. It is important to explore what the true trigger or activating event is in order to accurately analyze. Subsequent steps in the chain. Sometimes the actual trigger takes place earlier than you may recognize. This step is also important for you to be able to assemble a list of your more common triggers. The precipitating event will include the who, what, where, when, and why of the situation. Look carefully at everyone's part, including what you were thinking, feeling, and expecting. There may also be environmental factors that contribute to the situation. The next link, which could be thought, feeling, be a thought, a feeling, or behavior. Often there is first a thought followed by a feeling and then an action. But this is not always the case. Sometimes emotions happen rapidly before you even have a chance to think about them. Behaviors can be impulsive as well. Regardless which comes first, these thoughts, feelings, or behaviors often lead to subsequent thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Often several links are made here as you react to your reactions. These thoughts, feelings, or behaviors can be positive or negative. However, the focus of attention is on the resulting unwanted feelings or ineffective or problematic behaviors. There are always natural consequences for our behavior choices. Sometimes these are internal and sometimes they are external or environmental. Even unhealthy or ineffective behavior can have positive payoffs for you, even if temporary. When looking at the consequences, you must ask yourself if you got what you wanted, were effective, or have achieved results that meet your goals. Some emotional reactions and behaviors may feel good at the moment, but have negative impacts on your relationship or goals and harm others. Often you add more links to the chain as you think and feel negatively about your actions and behavior choices. When you look at each link in the chain, you can identify alternative strategies to counteract events, thoughts, feelings, or behaviors. When effective, this can prevent the chain from proceeding to the next link. Often it is helpful to use a piece of paper, divide it in half. On one side list the links in the behavior chain, and on the other side list strategies, solutions, or skills that may help. Again, we look at desired outcomes, goals, and being more effective as motivation to try new ways to cope with unwanted thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. And hopefully this was helpful. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good evening.